I want to show you something. I want to show you the most important beery possession I own, the thing that means the most to me personally, out of all my beery paraphernalia. And I want to tell you a wee story as well, a story about why it's important to me. I first got my first job in the beer industry back in 2012. It was the Saturday guy at Biarritz. Since then, I've ended up running the place. In many ways, it's a student job that kind of got quite out of hand. But I realised quite quickly on that it was an area I had a lot of passion for, a lot of interest in, and one that I wanted to pursue professionally. It was all, really important. And one thing that you kind of notice very, very quickly is that December on the off trade is incredibly important and incredibly busy. But besides, any professional interest I have in ensuring that we have a really good, busy, prosperous December, I've always really liked the fact that we have an impact on people's Christmases. I like the fact that people come into our shop, maybe don't quite know what they're after, but they ask for recommendations. We give them as well as we can. We give them a smile, a little joke, a friendly kind of atmosphere, and they leave a wee bit happier than they went in. I find that really important, and I love the fact that I can sit down on Christmas Day with my family, loads of food on the table, drinking ourselves merry, and I know that there are hundreds of people dotted about cracking open bottles of stuff that I've recommended. It's a wonderful feeling to know that I'm having a very small but tangible effect on other people's Christmases. I love that. So that's the good thing about December and about Christmas in the off-trade. But it is tiring, it's stressy. And there are certain things I feel like I need to do in order to kind of get myself through it. Kind of, I suppose, almost ritualistic things. And one thing that I noticed helped very early on was I bought, in 2012, my first bottle of Anchor Christmas Ale. Now, if you don't know, Anchor, based in San Francisco, wonderful brewery, really, really nice people. It's the first brewery I ever visited way back when I was far too young to drink any of their stuff. And they're from San Francisco, which is a city, I grew up listening to the Grateful Dead and Jefferson Airplane and all that kind of scene. So I've always had a kind of emotional attachment to them. But as I've grown, I've developed my palate and become more pretentious and more snobby, the beers have always remained fantastic. They've always stood up, which has always been a lovely thing for me. You have to bear with me, my asthma's playing up at the moment. So yeah, back in 2012, I got my first bottle of their Christmas Ale. Every year Anchor brings out a bottle of Christmas Ale. The fundamental idea is broadly similar. It's always a dark, malty, warming beer with a bunch of spice in it. They tweak the recipe every single year. It's never the same year on year. And they tweak the label design as well, but certain fundamental things remain the same as well. And yeah, this is my most prized possession when it comes to beer. It's my collection of 7 now Anchor Christmas Ales, going way back to 2012. Oh, so I ain't got the camera properly. There we go. So yeah, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and this year's edition there. I love the fact that every single year the label is different. It's not just the tree that changes, the font, the design changes as well. Yeah, back in 2012 it was a Norfolk Island pine. That's a California white fir. The giant sequoia, of course, for the 40th. It's California's tree. There's the California Christmas tree, just wonderfully specifically named. The 1,000 Mile tree for 2016. The Santa Lucia fir last year, and this year it's the Korean pine. I love the fact that every year they do this, that they employ the same guy to illustrate a tree of their choosing. I love the fact that at the top there's a kind of sprig of that tree. I love the fact that every year the form of words on the labels is the same. It's always Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. from Anchor Brewing. I love the fact that even on the label, you know, it's slightly twee, but I love it every single year. The ale's recipe is different every year, as is the tree on the label, but the intent with which we offer it remains the same. I love that. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Every year, from 2016, I started collecting 2, but these are the only bottles I have of 12, 13, 14, or 15. I don't know if I'll ever open them. I might. I absolutely might. I don't have any intention to at the moment. I like making this grow, which in essence is kind of what the sort of tree thing's about. But I'm going to crack one of these open today. I'm going to crack this year's. There we are. I'm going to crack the 2018 open because that's not the bottle I'm going to save. I've got another couple set aside. And as if by magic, I'm here. Now, what absolutely didn't just happen there is I didn't hit the off switch as I was putting the camera onto this thing that I'm now filming from, and managed to give the rest of the video to a phone that was turned off. I didn't do that. What must have happened is that the beer's just got into my glass without me pouring it in there somehow. No idea how that happened. But anyway, I've cracked open this year's. That's what we're going to try. But just before that, as way of further preemptive talks, I should just quickly say something that I've noticed about this year, which is it's the strongest that I've ever seen it. It's 6.9 this year. 2012 through to 2015 were all 5.5. So those 4 were 5.5%. The following year it jumped up a percent, jumped up to 6.5 in 2016. Jumped another 0.2, so last year's was 6.7, and now it's at 6.9. It's a shade under 7. And I wonder if they're doing that for people like me, people who intend to age these things, because a wee bit kind of stronger, a bit more booze does tend to make things survive a wee bit better. Although, as I discovered this year when we tried a bottle of beer from 1936, that's not always the case. It doesn't have to be strong in order to survive and be an interesting drink years down the line. So yeah, like I say, I've already cracked this open. Sorry. So these aren't my first impressions, but yeah, you can see already it's exactly how Anchor Christmas Ale should look. Dark, deep brown, but not pitch black. It shouldn't be a stout. Lovely kind of creamy head on the top as well. And the scent is almost, I found it kind of savoury at first, and still do, as it warms up. I think that actually comes to the fore a wee bit. There's something kind of smoky in there. There's something a wee bit roasty. Maybe kind of nutmeg, cinnamon, maybe bay, actually, is the thing. I doubt it is bay, but I'm kind of getting that sort of note from it. It smells lovely. And let's see how it tastes. Yeah, it's just nice. It's really, really nice. It's quite silky, quite chocolatey. The 6.9% gives it a fuller body than some of its predecessors had. It feels, in a way, kind of richer, but also quite conspicuously, it feels less potently spicy than some of its previous years. It feels less, less ta-da in the way that it kind of presents its spice. I think it's quite restrained. I wouldn't say, minimal in the kind of artistic sense. Not to disparage it at all. But it's not quite as potent a spice as it's had in previous years. And certainly not as potent as some lesser spiced ales have a tendency to do. Anchor have always been very clever and very deft with the way they present their spice in the Christmas ale. Mm. Yeah, there's a fruity kind of caramelly malt character there. It's all Anchor beers seem to have some sort of malt characteristic that's definably Anchor. It tastes of that bottle shape somehow. I don't quite know how to. I don't have the vocabulary to describe exactly what that malt body is, other than anchory. It tastes of Anchor. It tastes like one of Anchor's beers. But something else that I noticed was that even though you have that kind of chocolate, cocoa powder, slightly kind of caramelly note, there's also this kind of, like almost as a needle of citrus, kind of cutting through it, lifting it up a wee bit, stopping it from becoming cloying, stopping it from becoming too sticky and too stodgy. 6.9% is absolute prime territory for something getting a wee bit over the top. And it just doesn't. There's something in there, and I don't know if it's part of the spice that they're using. I don't know if there's maybe actual citrus peel in there this year, but something is just kind of lifting it up and stopping it from being the stodge bomb that it would otherwise be. It's very impressive. It doesn't taste as savoury as the nose suggests it might, but it's not a sickly, sweet, sticky thing either. It's, as ever, it's really technically impressive. And as I say, I suspect they might be amping the alcohol content up a wee bit in order to make it age a wee bit better. If that's what they're doing, I really look forward to trying this year's in a couple of years' time, because I suspect that's going to age really, really nicely. It's certainly got the body to carry it off. It's got the alcohol content to survive the process as well. I really like it. It's, oh, I'm not going to put it there though. Yeah, it's very nice indeed. One of the reasons I like doing this is I can almost chart with every single year. I can kind of chart where I was when certain things happened. 2012, I'd just finished uni. 2014, I left Leeds for the first time, went back home. 2016 was just after I had gone around Europe on my first Interrail trip. I got that just as I returned to Leeds. 17 last year was a tricky year, and that was just lovely to get my hands on this at the end of that. And now, yeah, it's time to steel ourselves again for the Beer-Ritz Christmas season. Now that the 2018 version's turned up, screw the Coca Cola lorry and that silly advert. This turning up is what makes Christmas begin for me. Yeah, it's always so exciting to see it on the delivery, and it's always fun to pounce on it and grab my aging specimens for the years to come. So yeah, I look forward to taking a few bottles of that back with me to People's on Christmas Eve, cracking them open with the folks, and watching a bit of rubbish TV before heading to bed. So yeah, I'm gonna sip on this by my fireplace that isn't a fireplace. And yeah, have a bit of a nice night. So cheers.